Colorado, people from around the world can drive right up to the most majestic and massive display of power in nature, legendary Niagara Falls. 14 million people a year come here to marvel at this cascade of water, 20 stories high, that both inspires and drenches anyone who comes near. Some think Niagara is the most romantic spot on Earth, and over 50,000 happy couples a year spend their honeymoons here. But above all, this waterfall is all about power. 1/5 of the world's entire supply of fresh water plunges over them. 1 million cubic feet of it every second of every day.
Niagara Falls is not the largest waterfall in the world. It's not the highest nor the widest, but it's unsurpassed with the volume of water that comes over the precipice. You have water coming from the upper 4 Great Lakes.
The Great Lakes themselves are the world's largest source of fresh water, and Niagara Falls is their only outlet. The lakes were formed during the last ice age, when a massive sheet of ice blanketed almost all of northern North America. When it finally melted, water poured into gigantic holes dug out by the ice and created these greatest of lakes. About 12,000 years ago, water from Lake Erie began searching for an outlet to the last lake in the chain, Lake Ontario. A newborn river had to carve its way through a 200-foot-high granite formation known as the Niagara Escarpment.
This is the birthplace of Niagara Falls, where we can see over 400 million years of rock activity and over 12,000 years of erosion of the falls.
The first falls were tiny, about 35 feet high. But soon enough, it made its power known, boring wider and deeper into these cliffs. Eventually, the falls became a juggernaut, and the best example of the relentless power of erosion on Earth. Today, the original falls are cut in two by an island that straddles the international border. The smaller falls are known as the American Falls, while the larger so-called Horseshoe Falls are in Canada. But 800 years ago, there was no border or island, only a single massive waterfall that stretched from shore to shore. Back then, the fall's crest was directly in front of the American Falls, but the incredible force of all this water has eaten away at this precipice constantly, causing unpredictable cave-ins and rock slides. In all, it took only a few thousand years for the massive release of water from the Great Lakes to create the 35-mile-long Niagara River, the falls themselves, and the 10-mile-long gorge that delivers all this water to Lake Ontario. And along the way, Niagara's power has helped change the way we see the entire planet. In 1841, an American geologist, Charles Lyell, claimed that he had calculated the actual age of the falls by studying these ancient rock formations exposed by thousands of years of erosive pounding. At the time, it was a common belief that the world was only 4,000 years old, and Lyell's claim that it was a lot older caused a scandal. But he was right, a fact that helped the great Charles Darwin himself claim a decade later that all life on the planet had evolved over millions of years. Darwin's theory of evolution needed an old Earth, and Niagara Falls provided the proof. Only a few discoveries like Charles Lyell's have been as important to our understanding of the Earth and as little known. But the falls aren't just ancient history. At the beginning of the 20th century, engineers discovered how to steal some of this giant's power. This is the birthplace of the world's first hydroelectric power station. And every watt of electricity on Earth owes its existence to the discoveries made here. Almost half of the water heading for the falls is diverted to generate massive amounts of electricity. In fact, almost all of the power that lights up both New York and Toronto flows directly from Niagara Falls. Almost 17 billion kilowatt hours are generated here each year, the single greatest source of water-generated power in the world. With half of its water diverted to create a new kind of power, Niagara Falls today is only a shadow of what it once was. But for visitors, it's hard to see the difference. The incredible power on display here still amazes and delights. Yet it's a fact that this natural wonder will not last. And as Niagara Falls slowly erodes backwards towards Lake Erie, its power is also decreasing. The eastern seaboard of North America itself is slowly rising, still bouncing back from the weight of Ice Age glaciers. And in a short 4,500 years from now, the Niagara River will flow almost uphill, and its power reduced to a stream.
Geologists figure that someday it will become a series of rapids, or eventually with the rebound on the land, that the falls will eventually just disappear and the Great Lakes will drain back into the Mississippi River system.
Like many of nature's greatest works, this giant, only 10,000 years in the making, is a brief gift, and one we should enjoy while we can. But a few of nature's wonders are destined to live as long as our planet. The indomitable Himalayan mountains are home to the tallest peaks in the world. Coming up